You think your constant kindness makes you a genuinely good person, but it doesn't. It makes you a heavily guarded hostage. You are living a carefully constructed, exhausting lie. Your entire existence revolves around managing other people's emotional states. Every time you swallow your true opinion to keep the peace, you are actively eroding your own identity. You trade your authentic self for cheap, temporary approval from people who don't even know the real you. And deep down, simmering beneath that polite smile, is a massive reservoir of dark, toxic resentment. You are angry at them for asking and furious at yourself for agreeing. But there is a way out, a terrifying, radical protocol. I will show you exactly how to kill the nice guy. First, we need to destroy your biggest delusion. People-pleasing is not an act of supreme kindness or empathy. It is an act of covert manipulation. You are trying to control how others perceive you. You desperately shapeshift, filtering your words and actions purely to engineer a specific reaction. You want to ensure they never feel disappointment, so you never feel rejection. It is a fundamentally dishonest way to live. You are robbing people of the truth. By constantly adapting to what you think they want, you never allow anyone to actually connect with the real you. They are connecting with a customized hologram. The tragedy is that over time, you forget who the real you is. Your identity dissolves into a million tiny concessions, leaving you empty and chronically exhausted. And that exhaustion? That is your body screaming at you. It is physiological burnout. The chronic anxiety of anticipating everyone's needs destroys your peace. Every time you say yes when your gut violently screams no, your nervous system registers it as a micro-trauma. You are literally betraying yourself on a cellular level. This creates a massive buildup of suppressed hostility. You become passive-aggressive, bitter, and secretly contemptuous of the very people you are trying to serve. It is a vicious, inescapable cycle. You please to avoid guilt, then you resent them for asking. The only way to shatter this pathetic loop is to radically change your relationship with conflict. You must learn to look disappointment dead in the eye and not flinch. Stop viewing their temporary discomfort as your permanent failure. When you set a boundary, their initial reaction is entirely their responsibility to process, not your problem to fix. Welcome to the architecture of boundaries. This is where the game changes entirely. A boundary is not a hostile attack against the world. It is a vital perimeter defense for your own sanity. It is telling the world how you require to be treated. But here is the brutal truth that keeps you paralyzed. When you start drawing these lines, the people who benefited from your lack of boundaries will be absolutely furious. Expect massive, aggressive pushback. They will call you selfish. Let them. Because their anger is not your emergency. You must detach your self-worth from their immediate validation. If a relationship collapses because you finally prioritized your own basic needs, that relationship was a parasite, not a partnership. It was extracting your energy to survive. Let it burn to the ground, because what replaces it is infinitely more powerful. This brings us to the core protocol I promised you at the start. The ultimate shift in your psychological framework, radical clarity. The absolute refusal to compromise your reality. Stop optimizing for being liked. Optimize for being deeply, undeniably respected. Likability is a cheap, fluctuating currency dependent entirely on the whims of others. Respect is a fortress built on the undeniable consistency of your actions and the clarity of your boundaries. How do you implement this today? You start using the psychological delay. Whenever someone makes a request, your automatic, deeply conditioned reflex will scream at you to say yes immediately just to clear the tension in the room. You must manually override this system. You look them in the eye and say, "I need to check my schedule. I will get back to you tomorrow." That single sentence is your ultimate weapon. It creates a structural buffer zone. In that created space, the immediate social pressure evaporates. You can consult your logic, your energy reserves, and your actual desires, rather than reacting from a state of pure panic. When you return to them with a no, You do not over-explain. You do not grovel. You do not list 50 excuses. No is a complete sentence. It requires zero justification. Every time you over-explain your refusal, you are subtly asking for their permission to say no. You are handing the authority right back to them. Keep it brief. Keep it cold. And here is the paradox that will shatter your mind. The less you care about pleasing people, the more magnetic you become. Human beings are biologically wired to trust authenticity. When someone always agrees with us, we instinctively know they are lying. We sense the weakness. We sense the desperate transaction. But when you establish a boundary, when you say no without flinching, you signal immense self-value. You communicate that your time and energy are highly exclusive commodities. People covet what is exclusive. They respect what they cannot manipulate. Stop living as a secondary character in everyone else's chaotic script. Reclaim your territory. Let them be disappointed. Let them be angry. Let the weak bonds shatter. What remains will be the absolute truth.